I'm in Biidaasige Park, specifically the second phase that just opened in late July 2026, on the north side of the Don River, west of Cherry Street. There's a bunch of new stuff here, so let's explore. There have also been some additions and changes in the original section of the park that opened last summer, and there are plans for the future, but we'll get to those in a bit. First, I want to talk about some of the stuff that's here in the new section.
This one is hard to miss. Standing 10 stories tall and weighing in at a capacity of 300 tons, it's the Atlas Crane. It's a designated heritage structure and part of the site's former use as Marine Terminal 35. The terminal itself was also heritage designated, but it was lost to a fire in 2017. The crane acts as a reminder of this area's history. It was originally a mixture of marshes and open water as part of Ashbridges Bay, as I mentioned in my video about the redevelopment of the Portlands. There's a magic link on the screen, and I'll put a link in the description so you can find it when you finish watching this video. The crane has had a bit of a glow-up in the last couple of years, now all freshly painted. And those things at the base of each leg are to discourage people from trying to climb it, just in case you can't read the signs.
Just west of the crane is Canoe Cove. The original section of the park had a spot for launching canoes, but it's just a simple ramp down into the water. There's a little bit more here, including this pebble beach, and there are some islands here to provide a bit of shelter from the river. And despite the name Canoe Cove, it's not just restricted to canoes. Kayaks, stand-up paddleboards, basically if it's not motorized, you can launch it here.
Along the western edge of the site, next to the water, is a 250-meter long area called the Water's Edge Promenade. It offers a view of the inner harbor, including the city's skyline and the islands. It's a pleasant place for a stroll, or just to watch the world go by. There's also some public art along here. And as I'll mention a bit later, this will be extended in the future. There's a winding path up to the highest part of the park here, which gives a 360-degree view. The whole way is a pretty gentle slope, so if you're on wheels, whether that's rollerblades, a bike, or a wheelchair, it's easy to navigate. There are some shortcuts with steps for people on foot. Or, if your inner mountain goat is calling, there are these rocky scramble sections, and yes, they're intended for people to scramble up and down. At your own risk, of course. And from up here you can see some other spaces in the park, including picnic areas and a grassy area that's said to have space for 3,000 people and will host outdoor events like movie nights.
The first phase of the park opened last summer. I did a video on that, links in the usual places. There have been some changes over on this side since then. For instance, when I was here last year, Fire Hall 30 was closed and fenced off, but it has since opened to provide public washrooms and some meeting spaces. Not far from here, near the raccoon play structure, is the Drum, which is both an indigenous meeting space and a shade structure. And winding through both phases of the park is the Lassonde Art Trail, with public artworks both in the new section and in the old section. One of them, right beside me, is called Orange Functional. And if your social media feeds include either urbanists or public art enthusiasts, I'm sure you saw lots of pictures of this when it opened. There's more coming in the next few years. The area to the north of the new section is supposed to become parkland by 2028 or 2029. The Water's Edge Promenade is to be extended up into that section and along the Keating Channel. There's also going to be a pedestrian bridge connecting from that section over to the mainland near the foot of Parliament Street. There have been some transportation changes too. There's a new shuttle boat service that just started this year, connecting the Portlands and the park area to two locations on the mainland, at near the foot of Yonge Street and the foot of Bathurst Street. Bike Share Toronto has added some new locations, including some much closer to the original section of the park than were available last year. Transit in the area is still a bit meh, There are a couple of year-round bus routes, plus the seasonal Cherry Beach bus. And despite the announcement earlier this year of funding for the streetcar link into the Portlands, the completion date they're scheduling for that is 2032. And we all know how trustworthy the completion dates for transit projects in Toronto are. Well, I hope you've enjoyed having a look around this new section of the park. It's rapidly become a favorite for many people in Toronto. And if you haven't been down here, or if you haven't been down to explore the new section of the park, you might want to give that a shot. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and even learned a few things about the park. If you did, you know what to do. Please like and subscribe.